Hey guys, Rick and Duke. Welcome to another episode of Hogg Words of Wisdom, brought to you by the Firearms Training Notebook. Yes, because the Firearms Training Notebook is going to play into today's podcast. If you're new to the show, asking, hey, who's this Duke character? So Duco was my combat assault dog right there. For those of you watching, I lost him July 5th, 2021 to osteosarcoma. So we started the show. We're going to continue to keep his memory alive. So that's the deal behind Duke. Guys, don't forget, swing by warhog.com, kelleydefense.com, sign up for those newsletters. Trust we will not inundate you with a bunch of stuff, just important info we think will be good for you. Patrons, don't forget, stand by. We'll have added content for you guys. If you're new to the show, going, what's this? Patrons, what are you talking about? So our OTR crew membership, again, like-minded people, bi-monthly Zoom call with me and Mark, 100+ training videos growing all the time. Facebook page, all this stuff to kind of help you guys become 1% better, which is going to play right into today's episode. But really, I want to thank you for giving me your most precious time, your most precious commodity, your time, to tune in to this episode of Warhog Words of Wisdom. So this episode, we're going to entitle Attack Life. What do I mean by that? So we had a guest on the show here recently. You may know him as the Swede on Heartbreak Ridge, but Pete, man, he was just had some fantastic stuff, and he's all about fitness, trying to make people better. So in the same premise as we are, trying to make people 1% better every single day. Pete's doing that, 62 years old, out there just getting after it, crushing it, going to the gym every day, getting outside, doing all the stuff you're supposed to, right? But before we kind of jump in, I'll just ask you this. I know you guys weren't expecting the old accountability check, but here we go. Did you do your dry or live fire today? We went out and live fire today. Oh, by the way, we did some dry fire too with our fitness and firearms. Speaking of fitness, did you get your workout in? Did you find that act of kindness? What are you grateful for? And again, what are you doing to be that 1% better every day, right? And again, guys, you can sit there and go, oh, I'm busy. Oh, this. Pete brought up a great point. If you're not doing it, it's not a priority. And I was one to sit there and go, look at your phone, see how much screen time, this, that. You know what? We'll throw all that stuff to the trash. Because that little mobile propaganda box you mess with, yep. But man, he hit the nail on the head. It's not a priority. So looking at this episode, Attack Life, are we doing that? Are you truly attacking your life with everything you've got? Are you putting everything into it? Or are you sitting there on the couch sucking down ding-dongs and just being lazy, right? Scrolling through your TikTok cat videos and going, oh, yeah, great, which I don't understand why people are even doing that in itself, right? Granted, I put stuff on social. Why? Because I'm trying to promote a business. But if you're Joe Snuffy sticking stuff there, just call me crazy. I don't know. But to me, it just doesn't seem a good use of your time. Because part of this whole thing with attacking life, right, is looking at your time management. What tools are you using? How are you planning? What are you doing? So, we told you earlier, the show is brought to you by the Firearms Training Notebook. Well, here's the thing. I've taken my normal bound notebook, if you want to say, and that's my fitness and firearms. So that's what I'm doing my fitness and dry fire stuff with. My spiral bound, which, oh, by the way, the pre-sale just ended. Hopefully you got yours. But the spiral bound, I reserve that one for my live fire just because, the way it opens up, the way I can just keep it from keeping my spot, pages blowing, all that other crazy stuff, right? And then, of course, we got our leather bound notebook, we do our journaling tasks we've got to accomplish for, Warhog Tactical, any other honeydew list things, chores, whatever, right? We're mapping our day out. So for me, when I get up first thing in the morning, take that big, deep breath, man, I thank God I'm alive, right? I said, hey, give me the wisdom, power, and strength. What are we getting done today? And we go attack life, right? I used to sit there and go, let me go catch up on my social. Dude, ever since we got zucked, it's a blessing and a curse because we're not getting as big a reach out there. So we got a big knock to our reach, which says something, why weren't people signing up for the newsletter? Right. Man, you'll hear me push the newsletter. Why? Because that's organic. I control that. If I get zucked again tomorrow or today, which could easily happen, there goes everything. Trust me, we maybe get an email out a week with some pertinent stuff, right? Like we had a big charity raffle thing that was going on for this week's newsletter on top of our law enforcement training courses we got going on down in September in Florida. Little stuff as far as the patrons. Hey, put a note in there. If you guys had been to a class, just leave me a Google review, right? Just try to help me, help you, help the business, all that crazy stuff. Because we're so big tech dependent. But my point being, bam, get up. And dude, I'm pretty much going to brew me up a quick cup of coffee. And we're getting ready to get that workout in. Beating the sun up, we'll go out, put a couple miles on the road just to kind of get the blood pumping. And then bam, we're jumping right into our workout. Where now we're doing, we've always done functional fitness, but what we're doing is in between our sets, man, we're getting that dry fire in. So again, I kind of stack all my workout kind of flash to bang. So I'm going to go out and throw bags or hit Bob or do the things I'm going to do. Before I jump into my next set, we pause. We break down our dry fire into thirds. We go get some dry fire done, and then we repeat all that. Bam. Once that's done, hey, man, got to protein the body up, right? Because we just paid our rent. We got our physical fitness done. Oh, by the way, we double dipped and got our firearms done. We got to protein the body up, rehydrate, get cleaned up, and get ready for the day. So for instance, today, I'm still in my same range attire, rolled out right after my workout, went out to the range and poof, man, it was smoking hot. It was funny. One of the patrons, Jeremy, we were talking earlier, was it smoking hot because you were hot on the range or was it smoking hot because of the heat? It was both, buddy. We're burning that bad boy down. I had to sit there and let my rifle sit to the side because that thing was smoking. My pistol was smoking. It's like, dude, we got a good blaze session. But we're doing some stuff where we're T&E and, some different types of steel. So we got to get rounds on target, man, and just, really pushing that. So again, it's being efficient there. Show up to the range, unload the steel, get it all set up. Bam. I've already got my range test. I know what I need to get done. Bam, get that stuff done. We had a couple calibers we were shooting, right? Especially when we're looking at 300 blackout and 5.56. We don't want to intermingle the two. So we had to be, and I usually don't do that when I go to the range, but I had to make sure I paid my diligence going, hey, the 300's coming out. We're shooting all that. Yep. She's done. Back in the bag, zip everything up. All right. Now we're all 5.56. And then we had some pistol work in there as well, but got that done. Zipped home, man, get some lunch, had to catch up on some emails because, hey, we're a little bit behind on that. And here we are talking with you guys. So again, the day's not done, right? Get done the podcast, dude. We still got other stuff that we've got to get after. But my point being is, are you getting after it? Especially on the fitness side. And again, attack life, I guess, is kind of the best way I'm looking at it, man. We don't know how many days we've got. Let's sit there and maximize it. Do you want to sit there and chase your kids around, your grandkids, whatever? I want to have as much longevity to my life as I can. And to me, the fitness is a big part of that. Firearms is also a big piece. I'm a concealed carry holder. Why wouldn't I want to sit there and train the skills? So it's just putting that time in. Biggest thing, guys, right, is, man, Pete, I'm going to say it again. Is it a priority? That's the bottom line. So what do you have to do to sit there and change things up to make things a priority? I'm a pen to paper guy. You guys know that. If you guys have been listening to the show for any length of time, I'm big on writing stuff down. So I'm logging out, hey, man, what do I got to get done? So later on this evening, before I go to bed, I will lay out, hey, what do we have to get done tomorrow? Here's all the tasks we have to do. And then bam, get them done. Hopefully if I'm diligent getting my stuff done, hey, if I've got some flex time left over, great. Can't forget, Friday night, date night with the wife, right? That's plugged in the calendar, but I got to make sure I get all my other stuff done beforehand. Got to make her a priority as well, right? Picking up the phone, are you calling your parents? They're still alive. Are you checking in on friends, spending time with, the kids, grandbabies, if they're around. I mean, all these things, right, go into, to me, just getting after it, attacking life, paying the rent, whatever verbiage you want to use. I don't care. But man, just sitting around on that magic propaganda box, just sucking in all the rubbish. To me, it's a waste of time, right? And you'll hear me harp that time and time again. I get it, if you want to get on there, do something, whatever. But man, if you sit there and it's hours burnt, what could I have done with those hours? Man, just think about it. Let's just say you burn an hour a day on that thing. What could you do with an extra hour each day? Man, I know I could do a bunch of stuff. So just think about that. I want you guys, if you're sitting there on the fence, hey man, I got some pounds to lose. I think it's too hard, all this other stuff, right? Take the day. And like, as soon as you get done listening to this podcast, start now. Cause you know me, I'm not about picking an arbitrary date. I'm all about execute right now. Find a piece, get you a notebook and start writing stuff down. Hey man, what am I eating? What am I doing? And if you really kind of track your day and kind of how you're doing things, man, you're going to sit there and go, how much time did I waste? So I got it. If you're doing the 9 to 5, hey man, you got 9 to 5 job stuff to do. But beforehand and post, what are you doing? How are you being as advantageous as you can? Hey, you got that hour lunch break. What are you doing with that hour time? Are you just kind of hanging out, chilling out? Could you get a quick workout in? Is there a gym close by? I mean, I don't know, right? I don't know everyone's situation, but I'm just think about that. How can you maximize? Could I have showered before I came back from the range? I probably could have, right? But I was like, hey, we'll do that later on because I can do some more stuff outside, which is probably going to cause me more sweaty again because it's hotter than all get out here. But why? We'll get to that later on, right? So I'm just trying to help you guys be as efficient with your time, your number one most precious commodity. It's funny. I was talking to somebody a couple of days ago, another canine handler, and kind of put things in this perspective. You look at our larger size dogs, our Shepherds, our Malleys, average lifespan, 12 to 13 years. 12 to 13 years. When we sit back and I think about this with Duke, right? I thought Duke had a lot more. But my point being, what would you do if you were to take your life and put it down in that perspective? Hey, I got 12 years. Okay, great. How about you break it down? I got 12 days, 12 weeks, however you want to look at it, right? That to me totally changes your perspective, especially when we're young, right? When our teens, our 20 somethings, man, we got all kinds of time to do stuff. No way. Start building those habits now because they carry on for life. And I mean, I think Pete's a great example. 62 years old, man, still getting after it, still motivating others. And again, the question of the hour, is it a priority? So I just ask you guys, when you look at attack life, are you making those things? You know me, I'm going to say fitness, firearms, family, faith, finances, all that, right? Are you making those a priority? Or are you just kind of winging it and hoping for the best? Guys, that's your Warhog words of wisdom. Patrons, stand by. There's going to be more stuff for you guys, as there always is. One of the many benefits of being a part of the OTR crew membership. But for the rest of you guys, train hard, stay safe, and we'll see you on the range.